Incredible kindness revealed, how one black girl's heartwarming act transformed a homeless man's life forever. The sun set low, painting the streets of downtown with a golden hue as Maria, a bright-eyed girl of only 10, strolled home from her ballet class. Clutching her pink dance bag, she hummed to herself, every step light and carefree. Yet, as she turned the corner, her joyful melody faded into the background as a figure loomed in the shadows. There he was, Carlos, a man worn by life, wrapped in tattered clothes, his beard a wild mess of gray and dirt. Maria hesitated, her heart racing. How many times had she scurried past this familiar face? Each time, the same swell of guilt bubbled in her chest. Today, something felt different. An invisible string pulled her towards him. As she approached, his eyes flickered open, revealing deep pools of sadness that told stories of despair and hopelessness. It was then that Maria noticed the flickering light in his eyes, the glimmer of humanity buried beneath the rough exterior. She knew she couldn't just walk away, something inside her snapped. She didn't just see a man, she saw a soul that needed warmth. "Hi," she chirped, a nervous smile stretching across her face. "Would you like some food?" Maria instinctively reached into her dance bag and pulled out a hastily wrapped sandwich, untouched since lunch. Carlos blinked. It was as if she had offered him the sun itself. His rough hands trembled as he took the sandwich. "Thank you, little one," he whispered, a mix of disbelief and gratitude spilling from his lips. In that moment, every passerby paused, a spark of magic danced in the air. Heads turned, hearts swelled. The world held its breath, captivated by this tender exchange that seemed to slow time itself. Tears glistened in Carlos's eyes. "You're the first to acknowledge me today. I can't even remember the last time someone was kind." Maria felt a lump in her throat, the weight of those words heavy yet uplifting. They settled between them like a bridge, but the magic didn't stop there. Maria stayed with him, sharing stories and laughter. A simple act blossomed into a beautiful friendship, warmth replacing the cold streets and their souls intertwining. Her childhood innocence brought light into his dark world, weaving a tapestry of hope and kindness. A crowd began to gather, faces adorned with disbelief, admiration blooming like flowers unafraid to reach for the light. "Hey, before we continue with this amazing story, I need to give you an important heads up. Many subscribers have reported that YouTube unsubscribed them without warning. Take a quick second to check the red button below to make sure you're still subscribed to the channel. I'd hate for you to miss any of the exclusive content coming soon. And while you're there, smash that like button, it really helps me out with the algorithm. Oh, and tell me in the comments, which city are you watching from? I love getting to know every amazing person who's part of this community. Your participation makes all the difference. Let's connect. As daylight faded and the stars began to sprinkle the sky, Maria caught a glimpse of hope in Carlos's smile. The evening air buzzed with potential, as if the universe anticipated what was to come next. This was just the beginning. Little did she know, her act of kindness would ripple through the lives of many, transforming not just a man but an entire community. What more awaited them in this journey of compassion and connection? Time would tell. As the vibrance of the city dimmed and the streetlights flickered to life, Maria felt a warmth spreading in her chest, blossoming like a flower in spring. Carlos looked so different now, not just a figure hiding in the shadows but a man, a friend who, despite his hardships, was basking in nourishment both physical and emotional. "Would you like some water?" Maria asked, tilting her head with curiosity. Carlos nodded, a shy smile breaking through the layers of dirt and sorrow. She rummaged through her bag, her fingers brushing against the cool plastic bottle she always carried for dance practice. Handing it to him, she watched as he took a grateful sip, savoring the refreshing taste. It was a small moment, yet for both of them, it felt monumental. "Can I ask you something?" Carlos said, his voice steadier now. He leaned in, a flicker of hope igniting in his eyes. "Why did you stop for me? People usually walk right by." Maria paused, the question rolling in her mind like a playful dance. I don't know." Maybe because you looked sad. And I don't want anyone to feel that alone. Her innocent honesty wrapped around them, creating a bubble where time ceased to matter. Kids like you are rare, Carlos replied, chuckling softly. Most have forgotten what kindness means. But you remind me that there's still light out there. You're like sunshine. The sound of her laughter echoed softly into the night. A few onlookers, who had been captivated by their exchange, dispersed slowly, carrying a hint of the magic they had just witnessed. The glow of warmth and humanity lingered, mixing in the air like the last remnants of a beautiful evening sky. With each passing moment, they chatted about life. Carlos shared tales of his youth, the places he had traveled, the dreams he once held tight. For Maria, these stories were like pages from a fairy tale, an adventure hidden beneath the grime of reality. She listened intently, her heart swelling with every word. As the sky blanketed itself in darkness, Carlos noticed the time. I should get going. It's late, and, well, I have a spot to lay down for the night. But I want you to remember something. He leaned forward, urgency in his eyes. You have a gift, Maria. This kindness you show. It can change lives. Maria nodded, her mind racing with possibilities. Can I come back tomorrow? He gave her a bemused smile, touched by her determination. You can. But I think it should be your choice what you want to do. Just know that every act of kindness, no matter how small, ripples out into the world. As they parted ways, she felt a pang of sadness tugging at her heart. The thought of returning to her life, so distant from Carlos's struggles, filled her with a mixture of purpose and worry. She wanted to help, to do more, but how? The next day, Maria rushed home, her mind brimming with ideas. What if I started a food drive? She thought. What if I could share kindness with more people? But as she plotted her plan, doubt crept in. Who would listen to a 10-year-old girl? Could she truly make a difference in a world that felt so vast and indifferent? In the shadows, Carlos sat reflecting on their meeting, every smile exchanged lighting a distant spark of hope within him. Little did they both know what a simple idea could turn into a journey that might just change everything. And as the thought dawned on Maria, she couldn't shake the feeling that they were on the cusp of something extraordinary. Would she find the courage to pursue her vision? Would she create a wave of compassion that would reach far beyond her street? The answers floated, just out of reach, waiting for her to take the leap. Maria woke up early the next day, the morning sun creeping through her window like a gentle reminder. She could hardly contain her excitement. Today would be different. Today, she would act. After breakfast, she tucked her notes and sketches into her backpack, already filled with ideas for her food drive. I can start at school. She thought, her heart racing. She imagined the students coming together, each bringing something to help others, creating a beautiful collage of generosity. Taking a deep breath, she decided to speak to her teacher, Ms. Lete. Maria fidgeted in her seat as the bell echoed through the classroom, signaling the start of the day. When Ms. Lete walked over, Maria's cheeks flushed with determination. Can I share something with the class today? Maria asked, her voice catching slightly. Of course, Maria. Ms. Lete smiled, encouraging her to take the floor. As Maria stood before her classmates, she spoke about her encounter with Carlos. He reminded me that kindness matters, that we can help, even in small ways. I want to start a food drive to help people like him. Whispers spread throughout the class. Some kids exchanged glances, others seemed skeptical. But we're just kids, one boy said. Can we really help? Absolutely. Maria exclaimed, her voice steady. If we all bring just one can of food or something from home, it can make a big difference. We need to do this together. Ms. Lete chimed in, that's a wonderful idea, Maria. It's our responsibility to help those who are struggling around us. Tension lifted from Maria's shoulders. The fat, glimmering light of hope began to replace her earlier doubts. But she knew the real challenge lay ahead. As her classmates began brainstorming ways to spread the word, she felt her heart swell with excitement. Maybe, just maybe, they could pull this off. After lunch, they divided into groups, each handling a different aspect of the drive. Maria focused on making colorful posters. Her fingers danced over the paper, illustrating her hopes and enthusiasm with bright drawings of food and smiles. Days passed, and slowly, the drive began to gain momentum. Posters adorned the walls of the school. Word spread through social media. Each evening, Maria excitedly counted the cans, excited by every new contribution. She felt infectious joy blooming in her chest, the kind that urges you to dance. But it wasn't all smooth sailing. Some students were still doubtful, questioning if what they were doing mattered. "They won't care about our cans," one girl said one day. Maria felt her flame flicker. She needed to push through the negativity. Remembering Carlos's words, "Every act of kindness ripples out into the world," she smiled. Even if it helps one person, it is enough. Determined, she reached out to Carlos again, inviting him to join them for the finale of the drive. When he appeared at the school, dirty and tired yet strikingly resilient, the students were lively with chatter. Seeing him, a wave of inspiration washed over Maria. They gathered around him, the kids listened, and in that moment, she knew Carlos was more than just a man, he was a living testament to the reason behind their gathering. By the end of the week, they had amassed a mountain of cans and bags, creating a small haven of hope outside the school. Maria felt almost dizzy with happiness as the day approached when they would deliver the food, but as they prepared, she received a message from a classmate who had reached out for more help. "Maria, my family is struggling too." A chill rushed through her. Would her kindness be strong enough to cross into her own community? Could she handle this emotional storm about to unfold in her very own life? With the weight of her heart heavy with newfound responsibility, she realized the journey was just beginning. Maria's heart raced as she read the message. The words danced before her eyes, each one a reminder of the urgent need right within her own circle. How could she help? How could she stand up for her friend while managing all the emotions swept through her from the food drive? She took a deep breath, feeling the weight on her chest. After school, she sat under a large mango tree in the backyard, contemplating her next move. The sun was setting, casting warm hues of orange and pink over the sky. She loved this spot, it always brought her comfort. She watched the leaves rustle in the gentle breeze, sensing the turmoil within her own heart. "I can do this," she whispered, almost as if trying to convince herself. "I need to do this." She grabbed her phone. With her thumbs trembling, she typed a response to her classmate, assuring them that they weren't alone, that together they would find a way to help. That night, Maria sketched down her thoughts, ideas swirling around her mind like the birds she often observed. She was filled with determination. "We can support each other," she scribbled. It was a simple idea but packed with potential. As the next day arrived, Maria gathered her courage. She placed a sticky note on Ms. Latte's desk before school started, asking if she could share about her classmate's situation. Mrs. Latte read the note, her face softening. "Of course, Maria. I admire your concern," she said gently. When Maria stood in front of the class, she felt a mix of nerves and hope. "I want to tell you all something important. Our kindness can't just stop at the food drive. One of us needs help right now," she started, her voice shaky but clear. The class fell silent, ears perked. She shared her friend's struggle, emphasizing that their strength didn't only lie in food donations. She encouraged her classmates to brainstorm ways they could assist, thinking beyond just cans. "Let's raise some money too. We can bake cookies, organize a car wash, anything." Some students perked up, exchanging glances of excitement. "I can bake. My mom has the best cookie recipe," shouted a girl from the back. Others chimed in with ideas, spirits lifted by the call to action that and their enthusiasm. Maria felt a flicker of joy ignite in her chest. It was tangible. She knew in her heart that this was about more than food, it was about standing united, showing support and solidarity within their community. As the week went on, the students worked feverishly, dividing tasks and collaborating as they baked sweets and planned their fundraiser. Maria felt alive, a sense of belonging grounding her. Then came the phone call that would test it all. Her mom's voice trembled slightly as she explained their own family's difficulty. "Maria, I'm sorry things are tight right now." She felt as if the world spun off balance. The anxiety of her family's struggles weighed heavy on her, like stones being added to the burden she already carried. Could she juggle her home life and her efforts to help others? Would she be able to keep giving when she too felt the pinch? Maria allowed herself a moment of vulnerability. Tears prickled her eyes, unguarded but real. "Mom, we have to help my friend," she said defiantly, her heart fierce despite the fear that gnawed at her. "It's what we should do." After hanging up, she sat quietly, the reality settling around her. She wasn't just embarking on a journey of kindness for others. This was an odyssey of growth for herself too. With a newfound strength coursing through her, Maria knew what was coming next. She had to find a way to embrace her own family's struggles without letting them dim the light she was trying to shine for everyone else, and in that moment, she realized neither struggle, neither burden, could exist alone. They were connected. Perhaps her own family could be part of this journey. "Tomorrow, we'll gather together," she whispered to herself, so quietly that the wind began to carry her intentions into the universe. But could she truly bridge this gap, merging her mission to help others while facing her own family's struggles? Would they find strength in one another's hardships, or would Maria's plans crumble under the unyielding pressure? The echoes of uncertainty bounced in the air as she took a deep breath, readying herself for the challenge ahead. Maria woke up the next morning with a determined spark in her eyes. The sun was shining through her window, illuminating her room in a warm glow. She quickly dressed, pulling on her favorite blue shirt, the one that reminded her of the ocean and all the possibilities it held. She knew today was different. It was the day she would gather her family, her community, and turn their shared struggles into something beautiful. As she descended the stairs, the familiar scent of her mother's coffee filled the air, mixed with the soft sound of her little brother playing with his toy cars. She felt a swell of love, understanding that even within their tight finances, they held a treasure of togetherness. "Biomgia, Maria." Her mom smiled, but the tiredness in her eyes betrayed the effort it took to keep everything running smoothly. "Oi, May." Maria replied, her voice infused with an eagerness to share her plan. "Can we talk? I have an idea." Her mom looked curious but wary. "Sure, sweetheart. What's on your mind?" With her heart racing, Maria poured out her thoughts. She spoke about her friend's need, the food drive, and how they could all come together as a family to support not only those in need but each other as well. The words flowed as she outlined how they could bake cookies to sell and involve more people in the community. At first, her mom hesitated, torn between their own challenges and Maria's enthusiasm. "We're not in a position to spend much, honey. No, Mom." Maria interrupted, her eyes wide with hope. "We can do this together, and we can ask for help from our neighbors too. If everyone contributes just a little, we can make a difference." The silence hung heavy for a moment, before her mom finally nodded, a small smile breaking through her concern. "All right, let us try it." Maria's heart fluttered with excitement. She felt the warmth of resolve spreading through her. What she described was possible, a way to merge the burdens they shared and lift them into a moment of joy. Later that afternoon, Maria gathered her friends outside the mango tree, the very spot where her journey began. She shared her family's idea, her voice ringing with optimism. "Let's combine our strengths. We'll treat this fundraiser as a mission for all of us. We can make cookies, do car washes, and even sell crafts." Her friends, inspired by Maria's passion, clapped their hands and chimed in with even more ideas. The laughter spilled over as they brainstormed, weaving their creativity into the air like bright threads. For Maria, every giggle and suggestion felt like a glimmer of hope, but just as Maria started feeling the weight of excitement, doubts began creeping back into her mind. She had noticed the way her classmates were excited about the fundraiser but also the whispered conversations about their own struggles. What would she do if some families couldn't donate, if they felt embarrassed or ashamed? The thought sent a shudder through her. How could the sense of community she craved be a reality when so many felt isolated in their hardships? As she watched her friends smile, the panic rose. What if they don't want to help? What if they don't care? Just then, a familiar face broke through Maria's whirlpool of thoughts. It was Tiago, the shy boy from her class who often sat alone during lunch. "Hey, Maria," he said softly, his brown eyes bright with uncertainty. "I heard about what you're all planning. Can I help?" The sincerity in Tiago's voice washed over her, a gentle reminder that sometimes kindness comes from the most unexpected places. "Yes. Of course," Maria exclaimed, her voice lighting up. As they began to strategize, something inside Maria shifted. Perhaps she wasn't alone in her feelings. Others carried burdens too, and by sharing their mission, they could lighten those loads together. Today was the start of something deeper than just a fundraiser. It was a chance to build a network of compassion that stretched beyond food, money, and baked goods. It promised to breathe life into connections that would hold their hearts through the uncertainties they faced, but as excitement brewed in the group, Maria couldn't shake the creeping doubt in her chest. As she joined her friends, laughing and planning, she wondered, how could she ensure that everyone felt included, that no one felt the weight of their struggles drown out the joy of coming together? The sun began its slow descent, casting long shadows across the ground, mirroring the uncertainties that lingered in the air. Would her determination be enough to unite her community, even in such challenging times? Maria took a deep breath, ready to embrace the journey ahead. Maria awoke with the dawn, but this time, the sunlight felt a weight heavier. It streamed through her window, casting stripes across her floor, like warm fingers urging her to rise. She lay there for a moment, memories from the previous day dancing in her mind. Laughter, ideas, hope, but above all, the lingering concern about how to involve everyone. The day ahead was promising, with plans to meet her friends and solidify their ideas for the fundraiser. But doubts clouded her excitement. What if the new families didn't feel welcome? What if no one stepped forward to help? After breakfast, she found her mother in a quiet moment, sipping coffee at the table. "May," she began, "what if we reached out directly to people who might be shy about joining us? Maybe we could visit them, talk about what we're doing." Her mom set her cup down, a thoughtful expression flickering in her eyes. "That's a great idea, Maria. Everyone deserves to feel included. You should always extend your hand, especially in hard times." Nodding in agreement, Maria's heart raced at the thought of stepping into the unknown, connecting with those who might feel lost. The day unfolded, heavy with anticipation, and soon her friends gathered under the mango tree. They formed a tight circle, and Maria could feel the energy shift as she shared her revision of their plan. "What if we created an invitation?" she suggested, voice steady. "Something simple but warm. We go door to door, inviting everyone to bake and contribute. Not everyone knows that they can help." Excited chatter erupted. Nina, one of her best friends, added, "And we can put colorful drawings on the flyers. Something fun that catches the eye." More ideas blossomed, and Maria felt a flicker of relief. Maybe they could indeed make it work. As they began sketching the designs for the flyers, the breeze carried her worries away momentarily. They laughed, their chatter echoing through the afternoon, but the deeper shadow of feeling excluded still lingered, just at the edge of her thoughts. As they filled each flyer with bright colors and heartfelt words of invitation, she considered the families that might sit in silence, feeling like no one saw them. What would it take to bridge that gap? They finished the flyers late in the afternoon, fueled by creativity and snacks. "Okay, team." Maria clapped her hands, feeling the energy surge. "Let's divide and conquer. We split up and deliver these with smiles." With a group of friends at her side, they set off, each child holding stacks of invitations. The first house was a faded blue, with peeling paint and thick overgrowth of weeds clutching the porch. Maria's heart thumped with anticipation, a blend of anxiety and hope. She knocked, stepping slightly sideways as she felt the weight of multiple gazes on her. After a moment, the door creaked open, revealing an older woman with weary eyes. "Sim?" she asked, curiosity and caution mixed in her tone. "Oi, Senora," Maria chirped, her smile wide and genuine. "We're inviting everyone in the community to join our project to decide how to help those in need and support each other. Would you like to participate?" The woman's expression softened, tears pooling in her eyes momentarily. "Oh, my dear. That is so lovely. But I am not sure we can afford to help, dear." Maria felt a tug in her heart. "It's not about money. It's about community. Whatever you can share, time, ideas, maybe just baking with us, it all helps." With a hesitant smile, the woman accepted the flyer. "I would like to bake, maybe I can." As they continued down the block, Maria saw confidence blooming. Every interaction sparked a light, but as one more door closed, doubts crept back into her mind. This felt bigger than just a fundraiser. What if they couldn't reach everyone? What if her plan fell flat? However, deep down, she clung to the idea that even the smallest gestures of kindness could weave a tapestry of hope. Maria glanced at her friends, who were busy spreading smiles and laughter. What would happen when they veered into neighborhoods where voices were quiet and hope felt dim? Would her heart be able to bear what she might find? As they walked onward, energy pulsing through them, Maria sensed that their journey was only just beginning. As they ventured further down the street, Maria felt the air around her shift. The laughter from her friends faded just a little, each step amplifying the weight of her thoughts. She couldn't shake the feeling that they were skimming the surface, dodging deeper struggles that lay on the other side of their cheerful smiles. The next house was smaller, its paint a dreary brown and its garden badly in need of attention. Weeds poked through the fence like hesitant hands reaching out for help. Maria knocked, the sound echoing in her ears like a drumbeat of uncertainty. "Who is it?" A raspy voice called from inside. "Oi. I'm Maria, and we're inviting our neighbors to join us in helping the community." The door creaked open, revealing a man in his late 40s. His rugged face bore the marks of hard living, but his eyes were gentle and weary. "Can I help you?" "Actually, we were hoping." Maria hesitated, recalling the strength in her heart and the words her mother had shared. "We want to create a warm space, where everyone can contribute, share ideas, and make things better. We'd love it if you could join us." The man's gaze pierced through her, and for a moment, Maria worried she had crossed a line. "I can't help much. I don't have anything to give," he replied softly, the sadness hanging heavily in the air. Maria's heart clenched. "It's not about what you have. It's about being part of something. Your voice matters too." She reached out, her hand just hovering above the flyer, desperate for him to see the invitation as more than just paper. The man looked down at the flyer and back at Maria. "I used to bake once back when things were better," he said hesitantly. "But now I'm not sure I can." "Baking is special," Maria replied, her enthusiasm sparkling through the solemn atmosphere. "It's about love and sharing. If you can come by and share a recipe, it would mean a lot. We just want everyone to feel included." He blinked, surprise mingling with his sorrow. "You really think it can help?" "I believe it can," she responded, determination infusing her voice. A glimmer of hope flickered in his eyes. "All right, Maria. I'll give it a try." As he accepted the flyer, a smile broke across his face, a smile that seemed to light up the worn-out lines on his face. It felt like magic, a transformation in that very moment. Maria felt the warmth spread within her, a connection made amidst uncertainty. Her friends joined her, sharing laughter once again as they bounced back out onto the walkway. The man waved them goodbye as they marched onward, a warmth in her chest that seemed to grow brighter with each interaction. But Maria couldn't help but wonder how many more people were like him. Living in shadows, feeling invisible. They had reached out to a few, but what if they had overlooked the ones struggling the most? As they reached the last house on the block, a sense of unease settled within her. Would they find someone waiting and willing to open up? Or would they walk away once more, the echoes of silence ringing loud? She took a deep breath, heart racing again with anticipation. Let us make this last one count. She urged her friends, but the uncertainty clung to her like a second skin. As she approached the final door, Maria realized her journey hadn't just been about community. It was about bridging the gaps, confronting fears, and building empathy. What stories lay behind this door? What fragile hearts remained hidden? Her next knock would be the most important yet. A batida no ultimo portalico com mais peso. Maria mordu o labio, sus amigos acercavam, mas a excitaceo misturava esse com uma pontada de medo. E esse ninguém abrir. Penso, mas logo afasto a idea. Com determinação, ela fez a última batida, som firme e carregado de esperança. O silencio que se seguiu parecia interminável, cada segundo uma eternidade. Mas enteo, o rangido de dobradicas antigas cortou a quietude, e por esse ebrio. Diante dela estava uma mulher de cabelos desgrenhados, seu rosto marcado pelo desgaste da vida nas ruas. Ela usava vestido cerrado, as cores apagadas, mas suas olhos tinham uma centelha de curiosidade. O que você quer? Pergunto, sua voz rouca, mas neo despida de interesse. Oi. Sou Maria, e estamos convidando nossos vizinhos para se junta a nos projeto comunitário, inicia, a voz firme, seguindo a mesma energia que havia usado antes. Queremos criar espaço acolhido para todos. Você gostaria de participar? A mulher a estudo, como se estivesse tentando decifrar algo. Neo sou uma boa companhia, disse ela, misto de tristeza e resignação na voz. A resposta su como eco do que Maria já havia ouvido, e aquilo a fez hesitar, Maria respirou fundo, uma onda de complexo inundando seu coração. Você não precisa ser perfeita. Todos tem algo a compartilhar. Seu sorriso, suas histórias isso é suficiente. Lento levantar das sobrancelhas apareceu no rosto da mulher. Minhas histórias. Para quem? Desde que cheguei aqui, ninguém se importa só olham por cima. Naquele momento, Maria percebeu a ferida exposta daquela mulher, a solidão que a cercava. Ela disse, posso imaginar que seja difícil. Mas, às vezes, precisamos apenas de alguém que se preocupe de alguém que oca. Cada palavra de Maria baixa suavemente no coração daquela mulher, e as paredes que cercavam a alma da estranha começaram a trincar. A mulher hesitou, seu olhar se desviou para o chão. Eu costumava ter cachorro que me acompanhava mas, agora, elesfoi, a voz dela falhou, e uma lágrima escorreu pelas bochechas, levando consigo pouco de dor acumulada por tanto tempo. O que aconteceu? Maria perguntou, não por mera curiosidade, mas com interesse genuíno. Ele foi atropelado, a mulher respondeu, a voz abaixando, quase como sussurro. E desde então, parece que todo mundo é o meu redor desapareceu. Que triste, Maria murmurou, seu coração apertando. Assim, mesmo sem saber, a mulher estava compartilhando pedaço de sua vida. Sabe, às vezes o amor que recebemos dos animais é uma forma de cura. Eu gostaria de te ouvir mais. Você tem lugar na nossa comunidade. Os olhos da mulher brilharam brevemente como uma emoção nova. Você realmente quer ouvir minhas histórias? Mesmo assim. Com certeza, Maria respondeu, sorriso aberto. Você não está sozinha. Nos queremos fazer essa conexão valer a pena. O momento fico suspenso no ar, como pequeno milagre se desenrolando frente a elas. Maria sentiu que, ali, naquela porta, podíamos criar uma mudança genuína, mas enquanto alhavam nos olhos uma da outra, uma dúvida cômica a surgir. A mulher era apenas uma, mas como poderia ajudar tantas outras almas perdidas que habitavam aquele mesmo bairro? E se houver mais pessoas precisando? Maria se perguntou, peso repentino msu peito. Vamos encontrar outras almas perdidas juntas, a mulher diz, a confiança começando a brotar dentro dela, Maria sorriu, mas o pensamento persistia msua cabeça. Havia tantos caracos para curar. Quantas vidas poderiam ser tocadas? Com essa nova conexão, elas se preparavam para dar passo adiante. O que mais descobriram nesse caminho fora limitado de incertezas? A aventura apenas estava começando. Maria e a mulher, cujo nome agora era Iris, começaram a passear pelo bairro. A luz do sol filtra-se através das nuvens, criando mosaico de sombras no chão. Enquanto caminhavam, Maria sentia a energia que a cercava mudar. Ela podia perceber que os olhares das pessoas, antes indiferentes, agora pareciam mais curiosos. Você vai ver, disse Maria, com brilho nos olhos, existem muitas histórias por aqui. O simples ato de parar e ouvir pode fazer a diferença. Iris assentiu levemente, mas ainda relatava a acreditar. Suas pernas tremiam ao caminhar, não só pela fragilidade física, mas pela fragilidade emocional. Ela havia estado tão isolada que o calor do sol a fazia sentir-se exposta. Olhali, Maria aponta para grupo de crianças que jogava bola na rua. Uma delas, uma menininha de troncas, soltou grito de alegria ao fazer gol. Será que você pode acreditar que alguém dia também poderá contar suas histórias para elas? Histórias? Para crianças? Iris respondeu, rindo quase sem querer. Não sei se elas vão querer ouvir os meus contos de dor e perda mas você tem muito mais para compartilhar, insistiu Maria. O que você aprendeu? O que vivo? Sua força pode inspirá-las. As palavras de Maria eram firmes, como chamado a aqueo, distraídas nesse diálogo, elas passaram perto de barquinho de flores. O vendedor, homem idoso com sorriso caloroso, nu para elas. Maria, sem hesitar, compra duas flores, uma para cada uma. Hoje é dia especial. Você merece deseo entregar uma flor para Iris. De repente, a mulher se sentiu como se estivesse filme. O aroma da flor, combinado com a luz quente do dia, fez seu coração palpitar. Nunca recebi uma flor desde que. Sua voz vacilou, mas Maria tomou sua mão. Então, é hora de recomeçar, Maria sorriu, a empeixa emanando como uma luz. Vamos ver quem mais podemos alcançar. Continuaremos a caminhada, em busca de mais vizinhos. A cada novo contato, a química entre elas se fortalecia. Maria via Iris começando a se abrir, como uma flor desabrochando ao sol. Seus olhos brilhavam mais a cada palavra gentil que trocavam com as pessoas que encontravam, mas a cada passo, uma crescente preocupação atormentava o pensamento de Maria, e se tudo isso não fosse suficiente. E se elas não conseguissem tocar mais caracos? Depois de tempo, enquanto paravam banco de praca, Maria permitiu que a dúvida a dominasse pouco. E se ninguém se importa? E se a gente não conseguir mudar nada? Perguntou, mordendo os lábios, ansiosa. Iris a alhu com uma mistura de entendimento e determinação. O que importa é que estamos fazendo algo. Podemos ser apenas duas. Mas por podemos transformar essa dor em esperança. A jornada tinha começado, mas também havia limite desconhecido à frente. Quantas pessoas ainda estariam dispostas a abrir suas portas e caracos? O peso de dúvida flutuava no ar, mas a audácia de mudança crescia lentamente ambas e enquanto se preparavam para o próximo encontro, uma nova sensação de determinação pulsava entre elas. O que aconteceria quando o próximo porteio se abrisse? Que histórias estariam esperando para ser reveladas? As semanas se passaram, e Maria e Iris tornaram se inseparáveis. Juntas, elas atravessaram a cidade, a cada passo, novo coração era tocado. A magia de conexão pulsava entre elas, enquanto novas histórias se entrelaçavam, formando uma abundância de esperança da escola, que agora parecia o coração pulsante da comunidade, vibrava como o espírito de complexo. O food drive que Maria tinha comunicado se transforma uma verdadeira campanha comunitária de apoio, envolvendo não apenas alunos, mas também pais e vizinhos. Iris, que antes hesitava compartilhar sua própria dor, agora se tornava uma contadora de histórias, inspirando os jovens com suas experiências. Cada reunião na escola se tornava evento alegre, repleto de sorrisos e risos. Maria olhava para Iris com lágrimas nos olhos, dias negros que antes isolavam agora eram o cenário de novo sonho, mundo onde todos se sentem vistos e ouvidos. Você tem isso você, Iris. Poder incrível. Exclamava a menina. E a mulher, a ouvir, percebeu que o amor e a amizade eram verdadeiramente poderosos. O grande dia da entrega de comida se aproximava, e a animação era palpável. Quando Maria e Iris chegaram ao local combinado, uma multidão estava reunida. Pessoas vinham de todos os lados, trazendo solidariamente cestas de alimentos e palavras de ânimo. O que cômico como uma ideia tímida de uma garota de 10 anos se transformara em movimento que florescia no seio da comunidade. Essa é a verdadeira força de união, disse Iris, olhando volta com sorriso largo. Maria assentiu, sentindo uma felicidade radiante. Diante delas estava mural, cada folha de papel representava uma história, sentimentos de quem contribuira, de quem recebera e de quem queria ajudar, naquele momento, uma nova figura surgiu na multidão Carlos, o homem que Maria conhecera dias atrás. Seus olhos brilhavam intensamente, e Maria correu a ele, envolvendo-o abraço caloroso. Você é uma parte disso. Ela exclamou, mais do que nunca sentindo o peso e a alegria de pequenas acos que criavam impacto imenso da entrega de alimentos foi mais do que gesto. Os moradores se reuniram para compartilhar histórias, experiências e, acima de tudo, abrir seus caracos. Iris estava ali ao lado de Maria, compartilhando sua própria jornada, fazendo a diferença ao inspirar outros a se abriram também. As lágrimas e risadas eram misturadas no ar, formando sentimento cultivo de amor, mas o mais bonito de tudo era perceber que Maria não estava mais sozinha. Sua família, seus amigos, sua comunidade todos estavam juntos na busca por mundo melhor. O medo e a insegurança de dias atrás se dissiparam, substituídos por resplendor de otimismo. Ao final da entrega, enquanto os sorrisos e as palavras de gratidão ecoavam na brisa da noite, Maria olhou para Iris, agarrando a mão dela. Eu nunca imaginei que isso pudesse ser tão grandioso, disse a menina, com os alhas brilhando meio a emoco do momento. Iris sorriu, reconhecendo que a verdadeira transformação ocorrera dentro de elas mesmas. Isso é só o caminho, Maria. Nos plantemos esperança. Agora vamos começar a colher. Assim, ao mesmo tempo que novas histórias surgiam, velhas histórias se transformavam. Maria sorriu ao olhar para a comunidade espaço de amor onde não havia mais sombras e assim, com cada porta que se abria, Maria e Iris sabiam que sua jornada ainda estava longe de terminar. Estavam preparadas para entrar em novos lugares, tocar novos caracos e continuar oferecendo a luz que havia sido rara por tanto tempo da força de bondade havia provado ser leco inquebrável de para você que acompanha essa história, saiba que pode fazer parte dessa corrente de bondade. Neo deixo de se inscrever imediatamente no canal para não perder as próximas histórias exclusivas que virão. Deixo o seu like agora para alimentar o algoritmo e mostrar que você apoia essas mudanças, comente suas ricos e sentimentos sobre esse final tocante, e não esqueça de compartilhar. Instantaneamente esse vídeo com pelo menos 5 amigos que precisam ver essa transformação, essa é a hora de mostrar que pequenas acos podem mudar o mundo.